Happy Father's Day to everyone out there.
What's going on?
That is catching this today, or if you're catching it tomorrow, then happy belated.
Does that work for this holiday?
I have
Happy
no
belated
idea.
Father's Day. That just sounds sad. Like your kids forgot that it was Father's Day.
Well, but I mean, couldn't you have a happy belated, what do they have, National Donut Day? If you just missed the party, wasn't aware that it was National Donut Day?
Sir, what the fuck are you talking about?
I'm just trying to see, like,
I don't
how
think
does a belated work for every holiday? Some holidays, or do
I'm
we
going to
just
say it only
fuck
works
it?
for like birthdays.
See, that's not fair. That seems like if you can use it for a birthday, you should be able to use it for all subsequent holidays.
So you're saying if there's like a national like free pizza slice day and you miss it by a day, you can show up the next day and be like, hey, happy belated National Pizza Day. I want my slice.
Yes.
That's not how that works.
Well, it should be.
No, even happy belated birthday kind of doesn't work. That's just shitty. That's like you straight up telling them like, hey, I straight up forgot your birthday, but here's a consolation birthday.
I've been like, hey, my bad. I forgot, but happy birthday.
Boo on you, sir. Boo on
Hey,
you.
at least I was honest.
Boo on you.
I didn't pull
you
that
don't
belated. I was just like, hey, man, shit got busy and I forgot to wish you happy birthday, so happy birthday.
You don't get points for honesty on this. Boo on you. You still forgot.
Well, I
Well,
mean,
happy
this was
Father's
a long
Day.
time ago. Yes.
Happy Father's Day, narrator.
And happy Father's Day to you too, Monsieur Defy.
Yeah, thank you. And as it being Father's Day, as we do with most holidays,
Yeah.
we have some fucked up stories for you guys relating to the holiday.
Yeah, fucked up Father's Day stories and son's Father's Day stories.
Yeah, so the concept of what we did here was we did the flip side on both. We did a father killing a son and then a son killing a father.
Yeah. Pure brutality. And it's kind of not the prettiest, but goddamn, this world is fucked.
Oh, it's really fucked, dude. When I was doing the research for my story, I was like, I had to stop a couple times because like, this is really fucked up. I was like, I don't like this, man. This sucks.
Boo this man.
No, boo the guy who killed. Okay.
Well, that's what I mean.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
Not you.
I thought you meant me. I was like, the
No.
fuck did I do? I'm just doing research, man.
It's all for the cast, man.
Man.
Well, since yours seems like it could be the more fucked up one, why don't we go with the more fucked up first and save the I don't think as fucked up?
We could do that,
second?
but my story is very long.
It's all good. All we
All right,
got
guys,
is time.
buckle in. We're about to hear some fucked up shit.
It's okay. He's a limo driver.
No. All right. So, my story is on the killing of Motown singer Marvin Gaye.
What's Motown?
It is the record label, and it's also kind of like the little genre of the music. It's kind of like soul and R&B. I think actually you have a Marvin Gaye album, like the vinyls, that I think you had from your father, right?
It might have been. I don't remember what all albums he's given, but he gave a shit.
Yeah, I remember that when we were going through them, I had seen Marvin Gaye's What's Going On, where it's just his face on the cover and he's like smiling.
Yeah.
I remember seeing that. I was like, that's dope that your dad had that in his collection. He likes to party.
Yeah, my dad's an interesting one.
I like to party, so I like my dad's to party.
And I mean, he did go a business in the front, party in the back when he was younger.
Oh, that's awesome. Did he also wear a very tiny beanie?
I don't think he wore a tiny beanie, but he had the, the short jorts.
Oh, no.
Like
He had
all
the Daisy
people wore.
Dugs?
Yeah, like all people wore back in the
Oh, God. Did he have like the fucking
70s.
crop top, too?
That I don't know.
Don't lie to me, bud. I know he was rocking that crop top.
I'm going to have to look at a picture because I'm not positive.
You can't handle his midriff.
No one can handle my midriff shit.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Let me
Alrighty.
start walking around in crop tops.
Oh, fuck. All right. All right. So you ready?
Yes, lay it on me. Bone Daddy.
This is basically just the information, the way I'm going to break it down. I'm going to give you the quick overview of what happened, the circumstances, the killing, and then the aftermath.
All right, let's hear
So
it.
it's going to take a while.
It's all good.
All right. So on April 1st, 1984, my birthday, minus the year. Am I Marvin Gaye reincarnated?
Maybe.
I knew it.
Do you have that Motown funk?
I got that Motown soul. Wait, does that mean my dad's gonna kill me?
I guess we'll give it a couple years and find out.
Bring it on, bitch. I'm ready. All right. So on April 1st, 1984, American musician Marvin Gaye, who gained worldwide fame for his work with Motown Records, was shot and killed on the day before his 45th birthday by his father, Marvin Gaye Sr. Jesus, fuck. So there's going to be a lot of like wild shit in the story, I'm going to tell you right now.
Yeah.
So that's a coincidence already that he died before his 45th birthday. And as of this year, it is the 40th anniversary of his death.
Well, damn. Kind of a lot of coinkydinks.
Yeah. So he was killed by his father, Marvin Gaye Sr., at their house in Western Heights. It's a neighborhood in Los Angeles, California. Gaye was shot twice following an altercation with his father after he intervened in an argument between his parents. He was pronounced dead on arrival at the California Hospital Medical Center. His father later pleaded no contest to charges of voluntary manslaughter. Damn. So you being a gun aficionado, do you want to try to guess what kind of gun he used?
Well, being it was back then, I'm going to say more than likely it had to be an old 9.
A 38 Special.
Oh, that's right. Back then, it was really big to have pocket guns.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yep. Good old 38 probably only had like 4 or 5 rounds in the fucking mag, and that was it.
So remember the gun. This is going to play an important part in the story. That's why I brought it up. So Marvin Gaye's filicide inspired several musical tributes over the years, including recollections of the incident leading to his death. He was given a burial plot at Forest Lawn Cemetery, but was later cremated. His ashes are spread around the Pacific Ocean.
Damn.
Yeah, so it's kind of like a little kind of introduction to what we're going to go into.
So my question, and this is partly serious. Traveling on that part of the ocean, do you think you can ever see or hear his ghost out there on the water?
Maybe.
Be it, and I know this might sound weird, but singing, and I say that just because if it was his passion, that might be something he'd be stuck doing in the afterlife. Livelihood. Or just maybe wandering and trying to figure out what happened.
I think it would be hard to kind of like distinguish that, because if you think about it, a lot of people have their ashes spread into the Pacific Ocean.
I mean, a lot of people have died at sea.
Yeah, so more than likely it's going to be very hard to actually like... That would be an interesting thing, just go into the Pacific Ocean and do a spirit box.
Oh god, that would be fucking trippy.
Oh yeah.
We'll plan that out, 2027.
Oh Jesus. We're going to get a fucking submarine.
Yes, only it's not going to be made of carbon fiber.
Yes, it will be. We're going to make it aerodynamic and fast.
Oh, no.
All right. So Marvin Gaye had... I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I was still thinking about being aerodynamic.
In the ocean.
I'm sorry.
How in the fuck are we aerodynamic underwater?
Don't worry about it, sweetheart. Marvin Gaye had a bitter relationship with his father, Marvin Gaye Sr. Since his childhood, Marvin Gaye Sr. was a Christian minister and strict disciplinarian who often physically punished his children. You ready for this fact?
Yes.
He was also a cross-dresser, a fact widely known to his family in the family's Washington, D.C. neighborhood, which made the younger Marvin a target of bullying due to his sexual ambiguity on the part of his father, as well as rumors of Gaye's own homosexuality, and in tribute to one of Gaye's favorite singers, Sam Cooke. The younger Marvin added an E to his last name when he became famous, kind of to distinguish from his father's name, because his original birth name is Marvin Gaye, which is Marvin, and then Gaye is Gay. Okay. So to distinguish himself from his father, he spells his name Gaye. Just to kind of, he won't be associated with his dad.
But that makes you wonder, does any of that pent-up aggression from maybe backlash as a cross-dresser back in that time lead to some of this tragedy?
I feel like it would play a big part of it, because like I said, he was also a minister, and he was cross-dressing, and everybody knew that.
That's a fucking no-no right there.
Yeah, so I'm assuming back in like, this would have been what, the 60s, 60s, 70s when he was younger.
Yeah.
I feel like that would contribute a lot to like actually like being more of an aggressive person to all that, due to all that shit. So, Gaye's father never approved of his son's career in music and gradually grew resentful that Gaye was closer to his mother, Alberta, and had become the breadwinner for the family. Despite a brief improvement in their relationship after Gaye found success on the album What's Going On, father and son never found any lasting peace. So, it's always been known that Marvin Gaye was closer to his mother, and then his father he really didn't like that.
See, but I've never understood that whole, like, it happens. Some are just, mama's boys, mama's girls. Some are daddy boys, daddy girls. Like, you never really know who's going to take to who. Like, yes, they're going to have that connection, but they're still your fucking kid. It's no different.
Yeah, but at the same time, I feel like Marvin Gaye Sr. was mentally ill, and then back in that time, there wasn't really a lot of outlets for that. So you kind of
phlebotomy.
You mean a lobotomy?
Yes, thank you.
Phlebotomy is like you want to work with blood?
Yes, a lobotomy where they get that nice ice pick and ram it in your tear duct area and away your brain goes.
No. Well, in this case, maybe. Let's continue.
Let's.
By 1983, after a period as a European tax exile, Gaye had re-entered the public eye with the hit song Sexual Healing. That's a great song. And its album Midnight Love. For a time, he had also achieved sobriety during the extensive stay in Belgium. Returning to the U.S., he embarked on what would be his final concert tour, titled the Sexual Healing Tour, in San Diego, California at Humphrey on April 18, 1983. Gaye, who had a profound dislike for touring, returned to cocaine abuse to cope with the pressure of the road, and midway through the tour, he developed paranoia.
O'Doyle rules.
O'Doyle rules. Over an alleged attempt on his life wearing a bulletproof vest until he was on stage. So this man would wear a bulletproof vest up until the moment he was going to get on stage. That's how paranoid he was.
See, but that makes no sense, because if they're going to take you out, they can easily do it while you're on stage.
You also remember, you also have to like take into consideration, remember, this man was coked out of his mind.
True.
Exactly.
Left was right, up was diagonal, down was fucking way over there.
Down was purple.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he was like coked out, and then he was like getting like increasingly paranoid. Yeah. When the tour ended in August 1983, Gaye, who returned to the U.S. to nurse his mother, who was recovering from kidney surgery, and had moved into his parents' residency at 2101 South Gramercy Place. I'm sorry, I probably butchered that. Gramercy Place. A home which he bought for them in 1973. During his stay, Gaye's father was absent. That October, his father returned from a business trip in Washington, during which he purchased insurance on his family's previous residence. Initially, Gaye's sister, Gian, and Ziola lived in the house before Marvin Sr. returned to the property, but they left shortly afterward due to the growing conflict between father and son. For the next 6 months, the two men struggled to keep their distance from one another. During one quarrel at the house, the elder Gaye called police to have his son leave the property. After staying with one of his sisters, however, Gaye returned to the property, stating to friends of his, "After all, I have just one father. I want to make peace with him." Oof, that's some foreshadowing right there.
Yeah, that unfortunately did not go very well.
Yeah. Gian Gaye later told Dave Ritz that her father had once told her if Marvin ever touched him, he'd kill him. On Christmas Day, 1983, Gaye gave his father a Smith & Wesson .38 special pistol so that he could protect himself from intruders. Friends and family members contended to the younger Marvin was often suicidal and paranoid, and by now was afraid of leaving his room and spoke of little besides suicide and death. Gaye sometimes wore 3 overcoats and put his shoes on the wrong feet. 4 days before his death, according to sister Gian, Gaye had tried to kill himself by jumping out of a speeding sports car, suffering only minor bruises. Gian contended that there was no doubt Marvin wanted to die, and that he couldn't take any more. So remember that 38 special that we talked about earlier?
Yes, I do.
So that gun that was used to kill him was given to Marvin Gaye Sr. by Marvin Gaye Jr. as a Christmas present.
Yeah, it's super fucked up.
Yeah. So there's some theories on that later on we'll get to. So
Nice.
now we're going to enter the actual killing. In the day prior to his death, Gaye's parents had arguments mainly over a misplaced insurance policy letter. On the day before his death, the argument spread to Gaye's bedroom. Angered by his father's confronting his mother, Gaye commanded Marvin Sr. to leave her alone. Marvin Sr. complied without incident, and there was no violence that night. But Marvin Sr. continued yelling throughout the house. At approximately 12:30 p.m. on April 1st, 1984, an impatient Marvin Sr. shouted at his wife about the document. Gaye, dressed in his maroon robe, shouted back downstairs, telling his father that if he had something to say, he should do it in person. According to Alberta, when Marvin Sr. refused his son's request, Gaye warned him not to come to his room. Marvin Sr., however, insisted, charging upstairs to the bedroom to verbally attack Alberto over the documents, causing Gaye to jump out of his bed and once again order his father out of the room. When ordering did not work, Gaye, enraged, reportedly shoved his father out of the room into the hallway, then began kicking and punching him. Alberta later told Ritz, "Marvin hit him. I shouted for him to stop, but he paid no attention to me. He gave my husband some hard kicks." Gian later recalled that it was understood in the family that if one of the children ever dared to strike their father, that he would murder him or her, saying her father made it very clear and said so publicly on more than one occasion. Gaye reportedly followed his father to the bedroom and, according to his mother, continued to kick him brutally. Eventually, Alberta separated Gaye from his father and returned him to his bedroom. Minutes later, at 12:38 p.m., Marvin Sr. entered his bedroom, returning with the .38 pistol his son had bought him, pointed it at Gaye, and shot him directly in the heart. As Alberta later explained to police, "I was standing about 8 feet away from Marvin when my husband came to the door of the bedroom with his pistol. My husband didn't say anything. He just pointed the gun at Marvin. I screamed, but it was very quick. My husband, shot, and Marvin screamed. I tried to run. Marvin slid down to the floor after the first shot. The first shot, which proved to be fatal, entered the right side of Gaye's chest, perforating his right lung, heart, diaphragm, liver, stomach, and left kidney before coming to rest against his left flank." Damn, that bullet did some fucking damage.
Yeah, it did. But, I mean, bullets like that, even, I know a lot of people wouldn't compare it, but 22, that thing hits you and bounces around.
Yeah. And you gotta remember, this is like almost point range. He was like really fucking close up to him when he did this. So then Marvin Gaye Sr. Stepped closer after the first shot and shot him a second time at point blank range. Shoot. In the 2018 episode of the Reels TV series Autopsy, The Last Hours of, forensic pathologist Michael Hunter expressed his belief that Gaye was initially shot non-fatally in the left shoulder by his father, while two men were standing 2 feet apart while facing each other. Hunter believed that the first shot penetrated the left shoulder just below the clavicle and exited his back without causing any serious injury, the impact of which caused Gaye to fall down. Hunter also believed that Gaye was then shot in the chest, which had a very damaging and odd trajectory, traveling diagonally down through the lung, heart, diaphragm, liver, and kidney, finally embedding itself on the left side of the torso. From Hunter's point of view, the direction of the bullet trajectory suggests Marvin was positioned toward his father, and his father was likely to have been moving away at the time. Afraid of being shot next, Alberta screamed and ran out of the bedroom, all the while pleading in fear to her husband not to shoot her. According to report, Gaye's father hid the gun underneath his pillow. In the meantime, Gaye's brother Frankie and sister-in-law Irene heard the shots as they lived in the guest house on the property. After the first shot, Frankie initially thought it sounded like a car backfiring. Afterwards, they heard screams from outside, rushed out, and saw Alberto, who ran into Irene's arms, shouting, "He shot Marvin. He killed my boy." Frankie ran to the house and carefully walked into the hallway to his brother's room, not knowing if Marvin Sr. was still armed, whether he was still in the room or if his brother was dead. After walking into Gaye's bedroom, an emotional Frankie held him as Gaye bled rapidly. Frankie alleged that Marvin, barely speaking above a whisper, told him, "I got what I wanted. I couldn't do it myself, so I had him do it." It's good. I ran my race. There's no more left in me. After police arrived, Irene went to Marvin Sr. in his bedroom and asked him where the gun was. After searching over his bedroom, Irene located it under his pillow. Upon exiting the house, Irene dropped the gun on the lawn. Immediately following this, Marvin Sr., who had now been taken a seat on the front porch outside the house, was arrested. The police arrived 20 minutes after the shooting. Gaye's body was taken to the house and sent to the California Hospital Medical Center. At approximately 1:01 p.m., Gaye was pronounced dead on arrival. As soon as his death was announced, several of Gaye's neighbors and onlookers prayed around the house, mainly in stunned shock and silence.
Yeah, this is definitely fucked up, but I mean, it sounds like it all could have been avoided, but he didn't want it avoided. I mean, like you said, if that is true and that was what he said, then, you know, he did get what he wanted.
So it was ongoing that he was like severely depressed and he wanted to die and he kept trying to kill himself, but he couldn't. So he always remembered that his father told him, like, growing up, like, if any of them ever, like, put a hand on him, that he would fucking kill him.
Which, for a man in ministry, that should be some red flags.
Yeah, but, I mean, at the end of the day, that's what he wanted, and he got what he wanted.
Yeah, but he also tore his family apart in doing so.
Yeah, but at that point, you gotta think, like, he's, like, that depressed. He's not thinking about any of that. He just wants it to end.
Yeah, which unfortunately is how it goes. Even in modern times, a lot of people think without acting, and then, you know, depending on what you believe as far as afterlife goes.
Yep. Alrighty. So the next part is the autopsy and funeral. An autopsy was conducted on Gaye's body shortly after his death. Test results showed that he had elements of cocaine and PCP in his system.
Jesus.
Yeah. I saw that and I was like, Jesus, dude.
He really liked to party.
Yeah. After lawyers misread the coroner's report, Judge Ronald George determined later during preliminary hearing in the court case that PCP can often provoke violence. When told that the report had concluded only that Gaye had just cocaine traces in his system, the judge said PCP was not a major factor in his decision. So at first they thought it was the PCP that made him like go off the hinges and like attack his father.
Yeah.
But then it turns out that it was just traces of cocaine in his system.
Ah, okay.
So then he said it didn't like it didn't affect his choice and his ruling. During an interview with the police, Gaye's father contended that he was scared that something would happen to him and that he only meant to shoot in self-defense, stating he did not know that the gun had any bullets in it, claiming he thought there was either blanks or BBs. When asked if he loved his son, Marvin Sr. reportedly stated in a soft voice, "Let's say I didn't dislike him." Jesus fucking Christ, this guy.
Yeah, sounds like a piece of shit.
Oh yeah. Upon being told that his son had died from the shots, Marvin Sr. reportedly wept after realizing he had killed him. Marvin Sr. was held on bond afterwards. Gaye's siblings believe that his death was a premeditated suicide. John later said that upon forcing his father's hand in the murder that he had accomplished three things. He put himself out of his misery, he brought relief to his mother by finally getting her husband out of her life, and punished the father by making certain that the rest of his life would be miserable. My brother knew just what he was doing. So they're saying that it was a calculated move.
Yeah, but I mean, at the same time, he didn't necessarily force anyone's hand. Like, the dad made that choice. Yes, he said it, but I mean, I could sit there and threaten something. Doesn't mean it's actually going to happen. Yeah. So he didn't have to make that choice. He wanted to make that choice.
Oh, yeah. And him saying that he thought it was blanks or BBs, like, no, he gave you this gift on Christmas telling you it was to stop intruders. You knew it was loaded. You knew exactly what you were doing. You're just trying to save your own ass now.
Yeah, blanks or BBs, my ass. I don't know when a 38 has ever been for blanks or BBs.
Yeah. So on April 5th, 1984, a star-studded funeral was held for Gaye at Forest Lawn Memorial Park, Glendale. Attended by over 10,000 mourners, including his Motown colleagues, his 2 ex-wives, Anne Gaye and Janice Gaye, and his siblings, mother, and 3 children. Smokey Robinson and Dick Gregory delivered eulogies while Stevie Wonder performed Lighting Up the Candles, which was later included on Wonder's soundtrack to the film Jungle Fever. And Cecil Jenkins sang The Lord's Prayer. At the open casket funeral, Gaye was wearing one of his costumes from his final concert tour, a gold and white military-style uniform with an ermine wrap at his shoulders. The funeral was presided by the chief apostle of Gaye's family's old church, the House of God. Following the funeral, Gaye was given a burial plot. In accordance with his family's request, the body was cremated with half of his ashes spread in the Pacific Ocean by his 3 children and Anne Gaye. Anne and their adopted son Marvin III then kept a small portion of the ashes for themselves. Gaye left behind no will. As a result, his son Marvin III, aged 17 at the time, became co-administrator of his estate. At the time of his death, Gaye was struggling financially, and the IRS had asked for $1 million. That's gonna equal $2,009,332 in 2023 dollars. Oof.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
Yeah. So $2.9 million in 2023 dollars. The back pay, to pay unpaid taxes of $600,000. So in 2023 dollars, that would have been $1.7 million. To the state of California, and back alimony of $300,000, which would equal $879,000 in 2023. To Anne and Janice Gaye, he was $1.9 million, which would equal $5.5 million in debt at the time of his death, but royalties from Gaye's work eventually paid off those debts. Damn. Imagine having like that much back catalog and royalties that they eventually equal off that much money to pay everything off.
That would be nuts, because that's a fuck ton of money.
Oh, yeah. So we're heading to the next part, which is the court case.
All right, let's hear it.
So Marvin Sr. was held at Los Angeles County Jail on a $100,000 bail. His accounts of the shooting were printed in the Los Angeles Herald-Examiner, quoting his words, "I didn't mean to do it." During a checkup at the County USC Medical Center, a benign tumor was discovered at the base of Marvin Sr.'s brains. Doctors removed the tumor on May 17, 1984. On June 12th, after reviewing a 2-page report, including 2 psychiatric evaluations conducted by Ronald Marksman, Judge Michael Perosh, I'm sorry, I think I said that wrong, Perosh, P-R-O-S-H. Perosh.
Who knows?
Yeah, the judge ruled that Marvin Sr. was competent to stand trial. He appeared in court again on June 20th, where he was ordered to return on June 16th for a preliminary hearing. Marvin Sr.'s estranged wife, Alberta, posted the reduced bail of $30,000 via a bondsman to secure the ex-minister's release from jail. 2 days earlier, she had filed for divorce, citing as grounds that she had officially separated from him following their son's fatal shooting on the same day. Looking over documents, the amount of drugs in Gaye's system, and pictures of Marvin Sr.'s injuries during his final fight with his son, Judge Ronald M. George agreed to grant Marvin Sr. a plea bargain. As a result, he pled no contest to a voluntary manslaughter charge on September 20th, 1984. On November 2nd, Judge Gordon Ringer sentenced Marvin Gaye to a 6-year suspended sentence and 5 years of probation. During the sentencing hearing, Marvin Sr. tearfully told the court, "If I could bring him back, I would. I was afraid of him. I thought he was going to get hurt. I didn't know what was going to happen. I'm really sorry for everything that happened. I love him. I wish we could have stepped through the door right now. I'm paying the price now."
I don't think that's payment enough.
Yeah, no, it really isn't. So, this last section is the aftermath of the court case and the shooting and all that. Oh, but a quick fact I wanted to bring up. Sorry, I forgot to read it, to tell you this. So, one of Marvin Gaye's friends that they brought up during like the funeral that did a eulogy.
Yeah.
Smokey Robinson. I saw an interview where he said that at the time he was driving and he heard on like the radio stations that Marvin Gaye had been shot and killed. And he's like, no, that's fake. It's April 1st. Like, it's April Fool's Day. Like, it's not real. So he switched to another station. And then the same thing. So he had pulled over into a gas station and he called Marvin Gaye's wife, or his ex-wife.
Yeah.
And he said, hey. And as soon as before he even asked, she said, it's real. It actually happened. He said he felt like he got punched in the gut. And I was like, that's really got to suck to hear that your friend died, like on the radio.
Oh, yeah. Before you hear it from anybody else.
Yeah. It was, that's got to be really fucking wild. So here's some of the reactions. So news stations reported on Gaye's death almost immediately after it was announced, with one of the most prominent announcements coming from CBS anchor Dan Rather. Eulogies were delivered in American, Asian, and European countries. The New York Times ran the story in the front page the day after his death. Many of Gaye's friends and peers were initially shocked to learn of Gaye's death. Some of them did not initially believe the news because April 1st is also April Fool's Day, a date associated with jokes and hoaxes, with the media taking part in such on the day only. Otis Williams of the Motown group The Temptations recalled receiving the news while touring with the Four Tops in Australia, and said it was a very dark day that I will never forget as I lost a friend. Former Motown staffer Gian Bradford and her husband were driving home after listening to the radio all day. The announcer announced, that was a weird way to say that. The announcer announced.
The announcer announced the announcement of announcing.
Yes. Gaye's death. CBS urban president Larkin Arnold was also reportedly stunned with the news, as he had tried to get Gaye in the studio for his follow-up to Midnight Love. Smokey Robinson, this one I just told you, heard the news of Gaye's death on the radio, feeling that his innards wouldn't accept the news. He called Gaye's ex-wife Anna to find out whether it was true, and she confirmed it before he could even ask her, leaving Robinson in shock. Longtime Gaye admirer and former nephew-in-law Jermaine Jackson, brother of Michael Jackson, recalled sobbing uncontrollably once he heard the news and called Barry White to confirm the story. According to White, Gaye had agreed to do a series of duets with him. Berry Gordy's ex-wife, Ray Singleton, received the news from Anna on the phone upon the arrival of her son and Gaye's adopted son, Marvin III. Singleton told Gaye III to go upstairs and talk to his mother, who then told him the news. VH1 listed Gaye's death as the 8th most shocking moment in rock and roll. Recollecting of the death from admirers and gays include rapper Chuck D and Al Sharpton, who noted the coincidence of the date when he replied that the death came like a sick, sad joke to all of us. That's kind of fucked up, but yeah. He died on April 1st, like the day before his 45th birthday.
Yeah, it's pretty brutal.
Yeah.
Especially to go down on April 1st, like that's...
And then everybody just thinks it's a joke.
Yeah.
Like, oh no, it's not real.
Oh, but it is.
Yeah. Gordy, who was overcome with emotion and grief over Gaye's death, took out a full page ad following the funeral's declaration that Gaye was the greatest of his time, the best recording artist he had ever worked with. New wave group Duran Duran dedicated their hit ballad Save a Prayer to Gaye the following afternoon during a performance in Oakland, California. Their performance was later taped for the Videotape Arena. Immediately after his death, numerous fans of Gaye stood outside the house of Gramercy Place, placed memorabilia and other items on the lawn, and held vigils there until the next day, Gaye's birthday. So, that's pretty much all of the information I have on Marvin Gaye's death.
Damn.
Which I think it's super fucked up, dude. Like, just everything about it is, like, heartbreaking. Like, he was, like, in such pain that he wanted to end it, but then he also calculated, like, by me dying and him killing me, it's going to solve 3 issues. Like, I don't want to live anymore. It's going to solve that. Like, he's abusive to my mom. Like, that's going to take him out permanently, and he's going to suffer the rest of his fucking life.
Yeah, but at the same time, like I said, he doesn't account for, and no one ever does, the pain that's caused to your family, the ones you do care about. Like, they're stuck living with that forever. That pain, that sorrow, that hatred, that loss, just everything. So yes, you may accomplish some things that you believe are good, but in the end, is that really worth the pain and suffering that were caused?
No, not at all. But also, what I'm not like kind of made me a little mad is that his mom bailed out his dad.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I would have been like, fucking leave him there. Let him fucking rot. And then he only got 6 years on a suspended sentence, and then
Yeah.
5 years probation. Like he murdered like one of like music's greatest fucking creative minds, and all he got was fucking 6 years on a suspended sentence. That's fucking insane. But I do understand like the way the pictures looked, like it was self-defense. But it wasn't really self-defense because how the story was told was that, yes, Marvin Gaye attacked his father, but then the fight was broken up.
Yeah,
It wasn't self-defense. He went into his room, grabbed a gun, came back, and then fucking shot Marvin Gaye and killed him.
Yeah, that would be revenge.
So I had seen this. There's a weird show. It's called Final 24, where they go over like the last 24 hours of like celebrities' like lives before they died.
Yeah.
And on that, I was watching it, and it had there was an episode on Marvin Gaye, and they said that the reason that it took people so long to go into the house, to help Marvin Gaye out, was they didn't know where the gun was, because the dad hid it, and nobody wanted to go inside because they were scared that they're gonna fucking shoot him.
Yeah.
Because like, hey, he just killed Marvin Gaye. That's his son. How is he gonna fucking feel about us coming in trying to help him? So it wasn't until his brother went in and found the gun and took it out that's when everybody was like, all right, well, clear to go. But if I'm being honest, I don't think it would have even made a difference.
No, I mean, even if like they thought the first shot wasn't fatal and the second shot was, in the 20 minutes that it took for response time, it's doubtful that he would have survived. People would have had to start CPR immediately.
Yeah.
And been working on that kind of shit for him to have even maybe had a chance.
Well, I think that they pronounced him dead at the hospital.
Yeah.
But at that point, if it hit all that stuff, like his lung, heart, his kidneys, his liver, like, I don't think he's surviving that.
No, that's a lot of internal bleeding.
Yeah. Well, that's my fucked up Father's Day story. What do you got?
All right. So, mine is about a man named Kyle Meyer.
Kyle Meyer. Name sounds vaguely familiar.
Well, let's see if this rings a bell. So, on December 24th of 2023, Kyle Meyer, who was age 33, allegedly killed his father, Gregory Meyer, in their family home. The murder weapon was an axe and a battery-operated pole saw, which were found near Gregory's body in the basement. The attack had left Gregory with multiple severe injuries, including wounds to the head, leg, fingers, and hands. Now, the discovery of the crime didn't come into light until when Gregory's wife heard disturbing noises from the basement around 12:30 p.m. She reported hearing a loud argument followed by screams and then silence. Despite her calls, she received no response. A relative witnessed Kyle leaving the premises in a pickup truck shortly before the gruesome discovery. Gregory Meyer was found unresponsive in the basement with significant trauma. And think about it. So they're saying that happened around like noon, the day before fucking Christmas.
Jesus.
Yeah. So, Kyle Meyer was apprehended later that night in Paterson, New Jersey. He was charged with murder, unlawful possession of a weapon, and possession of a weapon for an unlawful purpose. During his initial court appearance, conducted virtually from the Morris County Jail, he was denied bail. The judge had cited the substantial evidence against him, including a trail of blood leading from the basement to Kyle's room, and emphasized the serious nature of the charges. Now here's where the kicker comes in. The Meyer family had publicly addressed Kyle's long-term struggles with mental illness and substance abuse. They described his escalating delusions and paranoia, exacerbated by the drug and alcohol abuse. And then they had tried to seek help for him, tried to get him help, get him to go see reason, but they faced limitations in committing Kyle against his will unless he made explicit threats. This tragic incident has prompted the family to advocate for better mental health interventions and to warn others about the potential dangers of untreated mental illness, which is one of the big things we've talked about and always talk about. It's not what people have around them to hurt someone with. It's their mental state of being. A perfectly sane person with no mental issues whatsoever is going to be less likely to just go, oh, hey, yeah, I want to kill this person and do it, than someone who is battling some sort of mental illness where, you know, they're theorizing of right and wrong, what's accepted, what isn't, what's good, what's bad, is so changed inside of them. Like, look at all the people that, you know, claim, oh, there's demons and there's all these voices in my head and shit. Well, no, that's the mental struggles you're going through. Those voices aren't real and they really have no control over you.
Yeah.
It's that weakened mental state that's allowing you to go, oh yeah, no, that's real. I need to do what this says or, you know, something bad's going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's insane though. That's fucking brutal, dude.
An axe and a fucking electric pole saw.
Yeah, yours was way more brutal than mine was. Yeah, well, let's go with the more gruesome one. I was like, fuck, dude.
Well, yours was more fucked up in the
Mine was
sense
more fucked up emotionally. Yours was more fucked up, like, physically and mentally.
Yeah. Oh, but that's not all. So at the hearing, Assistant Morris County Prosecutor Tara Wong presented evidence of the violent nature of the crime, reinforcing the decision to keep Kyle in jail. The defense argued for his release, contending that no one directly witnessed the crime, but the judge found the circumstantial evidence compelling enough to warrant continued detention. So his attorney was trying to get him out and basically say, no, he doesn't deserve to be in here because no one witnessed it.
No, keep that fucking... Well, the one person witnessed it, but they're fucking dead now.
Yeah, and it's like, you know, they have all that evidence. Like, I get a defense attorney is supposed to defend, but I'm sorry. Like, if you're defending someone who just did that kind of shit,
yeah,
I'm sorry, I don't believe that should even be a thing. If it's like a small theft of like, you know, oh, hey, yeah, well, my client just had it in his hand and completely spaced it. Because I did that as a kid once at a store. I had a toy in my hand and we ended up walking out. I got in the car and I was like, wait a minute, shit, I still have this toy. So we went back and turned it back in. Like, shit isn't always purposeful, but I'm sorry, that was with fucking intent.
You can't be like, oh, I'm sorry, like, I zoned down and accidentally fucking, like, cut my father apart.
Yeah, I chopped him up with an axe and a fucking electric pole saw at that.
Yeah, like, worst thing I've done is, like, walk out without my fucking keys and I'm like, oh, I gotta turn back, or like leave without my wallet. I don't think I've ever been like, oh, whoopsie, I fucking killed somebody. Oh, I totally like spaced it.
Yeah, my bad.
I mean, he was also on drugs, so I'm
drugs, alcohol, and mental health.
And
but think about it, that was only like roughly 5 months ago.
Jesus. This was 5 months ago?
Yeah, December 24th, 2023.
So this shit's still ongoing.
Yeah, no, the case has drawn significant media attention from the local community and media. It has highlighted issues around mental health care and the challenges families face when dealing with severe mental illness.
Yeah, like, get this fucking dude help, but at the same time, keep him locked up.
Yeah, and that's what they were having trouble doing. So now the Meyer family has expressed their deep sorrow and their intent to use this tragic event to raise awareness about mental health crisis and the importance of accessible treatment, which I'm sorry to say we still haven't seen any changes in that. Look at all the shootings and stabbings and all that shit that still happened.
That Marvin Gaye's dad killing Marvin Gaye.
Yeah.
Tragic.
Right.
You're like, no, you can't tie that into this. Yes, I can and I will.
Right.
Yeah, but no, fucking keep his little psycho ass in there. Why the fuck are you trying to get this guy released? No, he fucking murdered his father. Like, yes, like get him the help he needs. I'm all for like getting him the mental help he needs. But there's no reason to fucking release him. Yeah, like I get that, oh, his life's ruined, like this is the rest of it. Yeah. He fucked up. And there's mistakes, but there's also consequences for those mistakes. You don't let him walk out free. What kind of
Exactly.
shit is it? I sound like Kermit the Frog there. I heard it. Free.
But I mean, that's what happens. You charge him with murder, throw away the key. Like I said, and a lot of people might not agree, but I said if you were to bring anyone that does, some fucked up ass shit to kids
Yeah,
or
just fucking
adults,
predators.
yeah, anything like that should immediately just be taken and put to fucking death publicly. Yeah. And I know that sounds brutal at first, but think about it. We put all this shit about murder and this going on and that going on and publicize trials and make these people that do this shit basically famous.
Yeah.
What does that tell you? We're making people go, oh, well, I want quick fame. I want quick notoriety. And my life isn't that great, so I'm going to do the same shit. Well, if you were to immediately catch that person, put them to death, and televise that or make it a public event, people are going to go, oh shit, if we do this, this is going to happen to me. I think I'll kind of steer clear of doing that.
Yeah, because like a lot of the thing too is with like killers, they get like fucking shows and movies made about them afterwards. And then like, oh, well, here's my tell-all book. Like, yo, that. That's where we're fucking up. We're giving these people exactly what the fuck they want. Like, they want to be famous. That's why fucking Jeffrey Dahmer's little psycho ass got fucking killed in jail, because he wouldn't stop telling people, like, oh, like, yeah, this fucking chicken leg looks like them when I was done with them. Yeah. And then that dude, he got sick and tired, told him, like, hey, cut this shit out. And then he fucking did it, so then he beat him. I think he beat him, like, a piece of, like, a bicycle or some shit. Or, like, a weight. I don't know. He fucking killed him. But he said that's why, because he wouldn't stop doing that shit. Like, they're not remorseful. They don't give a shit.
Yeah, no, they don't care. They don't. The only time that they try to act like they care is when they're hearing that sentence. But other than that, once they're in, no, they're living it big amongst the people that have done similar shit to them. But again, you take them out right away, publicize that shit. No one's going to want to be associated with any of that shit.
Yeah, and a lot of, even like school shooters, dude, the one that did, was it Sandy Hook?
Yeah.
Like, he had like a whole board, like, ranking his favorite school shooters, like, from worst to best, by like kill ratio and all that. And then that's why he did that. And then the fucking, I don't remember what shooting was. Stone something Cruz. That kid, like, I think I showed you that video, like, even now they caught him and he's in jail, and then he tried attacking a guard and grabbing his taser, and the guard just absolutely beat the shit out of that kid.
I mean, you want to fuck around and play a stupid game, then you're going to win that stupid prize.
And they keep saying, like, oh, he's mentally ill. That, like, yeah, I get that he's mentally ill, but at the same time, he did something really fucking bad. Like, he went and he killed all these fucking, like, kids, like, for no fucking reason. Like, there shouldn't be you shouldn't be rewarding them with more fame. Throw them in the fucking hole and stop talking about them.
And mental illness should stop being a scapegoat. The thing we have to ask ourselves is, seriously, when is enough enough? Quit going for fucking weapon bans, this, that, and the other, because guess what? In countries that have gun bans, there's insanely high knife crimes or other murder fucking weapons. A pencil could be a murder weapon. There's no way to get rid of anything that could potentially harm someone fatally. You can do it with a chair. You can do it with a piece of fucking wood. You can do it with a tire. Everything on this fucking planet can be a weapon. You need to focus on the root cause, which is either getting that mental health fixed or having the person locked up in a mental institution until you can, provide them the help and stuff they need to hopefully get them stabilized and back to a sense of normality.
Yeah. That's the thing, though, because everybody always wants to be like, ban the guns, this. You think if you make guns illegal, you think people still aren't going to get their fucking hands on them? That's the whole thing. They're illegal. People are still going to want them. They're still going to get them. They're just going to hide them now.
It's still happening
Yeah.
now. Criminals are
Yeah.
criminals. All you're doing is hurting law-abiding
If
people.
they got bad intentions, it's going to happen either way. What you need to do is you got to start making mental health care more accessible to everybody. And we sound like a broken record, but that's the fucking truth of it. All these stories that we've go over, they could have easily been avoided if these people had accessible mental health, like clinics and like different resources to help them out. All this stuff, I feel it could be stopped.
Oh, yeah.
If we focus more on that and less on, oh, the guns kill people. No, they don't. It's the people wielding them that are mentally ill and that society has failed them to get them the help that they need.
I mean, shit, when I lived in China, I think the year before we got there, like the year of getting there, there was a mass stabbing incident in a fucking like kindergarten.
Yeah.
It's like the people are fucked up. They need help. You could have a knife ban up there. Well, guess what? Then they're just going to go, okay, well, I'll stab you with a pencil. I'll stab you with the scissors at school. Like if it's something that they're planning, nothing is going to stop them. They'll find whatever means are necessary to accomplish that goal.
Yeah.
But if you give them the tools to address whatever anger, whatever sadness, whatever, things are shadowing and clouding their mind and judgment, like that's a big thing. And this has nothing to do, we're not a political podcast or any of that, but if you want to see change and not have to deal with every other fucking day, oh, here's this mass shooting, oh, this many people were stabbed, oh, this person fucking got drunk and decided to drive into someone and killed 4 people. Like, again, all that shit is substance abuse, mental health. Like, give them something to call, not, oh, hey, yeah, call this program or come check this shit out and then give us $500 per fucking visit.
Yeah.
Like, shit's expensive as hell as it is. No one can afford mental health.
That's the sad truth here, buddy boy. Well, I think that's where we end this one.
Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day, everybody. Thank you for stopping by. And we'll see you next time in Helheim. Bye.